No, what day is it? Why, it's Valentine's Day. Oh, boo, no, not that. Something more important. It's the start of Garbaugust Wasted Weekend. Oh my god, look at them eyes. Whoa. Look at them eyes. What does she see? What does she see? She sees the future, which is full of garbage. It's very cold this morning. And it's going to be cold tomorrow, and it's going to be cold the day after that. It's just going to be cold. And I don't really want to get out of bed, but I'm going to get out of bed. And that is the story of today. One man actually gets out of bed. Wow. Whoa. Big Fluffer, introduce yourself. Big Fluffer. This is Simba. I didn't name him, he came with that name. It was spelled with a Z for some reason. I was like, what? Okay, I guess. And this is my current foster, and look at how freaking fluffy he is. He's the fluffiest man who ever fluffed. And that's the fluffin' truth. We've got a rump alert. We've got a rump alert. Rump. We've got another rump alert. We've got another rump alert. And a punch. Smack. First book down, I did finish the second volume of Spider-Girl. I haven't actually read the first volume, so this is actually my first experience with the story. I really do think that Tom DeFalco is a great writer, so I'm really happy to read more Spider-Man-esque stories. And I really like Spider-Girl as a character. It's very fun to see like an older Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson with their kid going through high school and all that stuff. So yeah, I never read this before, but I am glad I did. This was very, very fun. Very entertaining. I have started Fever Dream, but Loomis is being really annoying, so I'm going to go for a walk and start Wasteland Warlords. So, I mean, shouldn't be too surprised that Loomis is being annoying, but give me more updates later. Bye. Okay, so finally doing some updating. First off, a cat ruined my shirt. I was doing laundry, and Claude came with me, and then someone came down who was also doing laundry, and Claude was in the room, and I was like, oh, come and I'll pick Claude up and get him out of there. And then Claude saw another person he didn't recognize and just freaked the fuck out. So yeah, now my beloved Hellraiser shirt met its end. What a great day. And other than that, I've been listening to some audiobooks. I did listen to the next thing that I had in the Murderbot series, Rogue Protocol, and I just finished that a few minutes ago. That was very fun and very sad too. It's a really interesting series, and I think that's what's kind of fun about them is that almost there is an overarching plot going on, but also it's very easy to just pick up and play and get a full story out of every single novella. So yeah, I'm really finding it enjoyable. I'm still reading it, and I will continue to read it. Probably again, read some more in August. But I think it's one of those series that I think is worthwhile to kind of take your time with, and not just kind of like ramp through it all the way through. Because I've heard some people say that they thought that it kind of got a little old as they went on. But so far for me, by Rogue Protocol, it's still quite good. So I'm still quite enjoying that as well. And then I did also finish the Wasteland Warlords, book 3 of that. That was really, really fun. That series just kind of continues to be an absolute hoot. It is unlike the Murderbot series, like it's like a series that very much kind of builds off one after the other. So by book 3, it's a little bit hard to talk about, but I would say it still keeps up the very same level of humor and inventiveness and excitable elements of the world. If you don't know what it is Wasteland Warlords is basically what would happen if like an MMO just kind of like randomly kind of got combined with our Earth, and like all of I don't know if it's all of California or the majority of California has just basically been taken up with all these like fantasy creatures. And the first book is these 3 people who kind of like come from the quote unquote real world, and they break through to this zone to try and get a cure for one of their like debilitating diseases. And like the first book is really about making sure that one of the party doesn't die from like this horrible disease that she has. And then after that, it kind of like builds on the kind of like the worlds. And this one, yeah, just kind of continued it. Was very fun. Had like a kind of a fun gothic element to it. The last book had a little bit of carnival element. This one was full on like kind of gothic, silly horror elements, which was fun. They're like going up against an overlord who's basically like a guy who's in charge of a dungeon, and you defeat him, and then you get extra powers, kind of thing. And they're basically going against him, and he has like this really like old timey voodoo aesthetic where he's like got like a very like a old style Louisiana haunted house kind of thing as his base of operations, and he's like a lizard dude who has like all these like very funny emo elements. And like the place that they're at was once a hot topic, so like when the worlds combined, it was like this old haunted house combines with a hot topic, so there's all kinds of like weird silly anime merch and stuff. And yeah, anyways, it was just a blast. All the characters are so much fun, and yeah, that continues to be a pretty dependable and enjoyable series. Cannot wait to continue that one. Then I went out to get some shopping done. And I found a few bit things that are at thrift stores that I decided to pick up. First off, this Star Wars Battlefront tie-in novel. Mainly just bought this because it's a tie-in novel. I don't really buy a lot of Star Wars books, especially not new. Most of the Star Wars books I buy used. Then I got this, which I was really excited to get, which is Love in Vain. And this is vampire erotica horror stories, but, selected and edited by Billy Martin. So, really excited to kind of grab into this. Billy Martin is an author that I absolutely love. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what they have here. Like, so let's see what authors are in this one. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, okay. Well, that just ruins my mood. Fuck you, Neil Gaiman. And then I found, now my mood is just even worse. I can't believe I pick up this book. I'm happy to find it, and then the first, whatever. Now my mood's even worse than it already is. I'm in a bad mood today. The Glass Hammer, which is just kind of looks like a silly cyberpunk novel, by K.W. Jeter. And I know K.W. Jeter wrote the like, I believe he wrote, no, wait, he wrote some vintage horror, but he didn't write the one that I'm thinking of. He wrote a different vintage horror book about a mantis, but I think it's actually just about a serial killer and it's called Mantis. There's one that's like really wild, but that wasn't written by him. But either way, this is a cool, fun looking Mad Maxy thing. And yeah, I'm sure it's better than the fact that I can't believe, anyways, I'm going to continue reading and doing laundry, I guess. God. Okay, so to end off the night, I did finish the novel graphic novel adaptation of George R. R. Martin's Fever Dream. Now I had read this book before, basically about vampires using river boats on the bayou. Back in the 1800s. And yeah, I loved the book. The book has some problems. And what's interesting about this is that this is a very accurate adaptation of the novel in that it like is taking scenes and elements of the exact dialogue of the book. So like the anything that people say is the dialogue from the book. It really does not seem like there's any original writing in this. So that means that most of what will be kind of told through the story will be from the art perspective. And the art isn't terrible, but it's also not overly memorable to me. Oh goodness. Well, there were some boobies there. I'll cover them up. Anyways, yeah. So this is a pretty accurate adaptation. I don't believe that anything new was written as far as like adapting the dialogue and that elements. And that's really weird that I didn't realize that there are actually quite a few comic books that are now just kind of straight adaptations, because I read another comic book before that was a pretty straight adaptation and like with no dialogue or anything changed. And the other book that I'm reading right now, this is just a very like all of the dialogue and all of the scenes are taken right out of the original Dracula, Bram Stoker Dracula, but it just has Dracula as Bela Lugosi. And that is like, it's a pretty beautiful book. Like, I think a lot of the artwork is really good in this book. And yeah, I haven't finished this book yet, but I will tell you right now that this is probably going to be my only update from it. And it's not because it's a bad book at any means. It's just a very accurate adaptation of Dracula using the likeness of Bela Lugosi. And I think that's like a really interesting way to like talk about Garbaugust, because this is probably one of the most direct adaptations of Bram Stoker's Dracula that I've ever seen, especially in graphic novel form. And there's been tons of tons of adaptations in comic books of Dracula, and I like them all to differing extents, obviously. But this one is basically just a 1-to-1 with Bram Stoker's book, using like scenes and using dialogue and not changing anything, which is really interesting. And similar to this, it doesn't change anything. And I actually quite like Bram Stoker's Dracula, but I know a lot of people don't love that book. So I do think this is kind of interesting that this is just a kind of like a pure comic book adaptation of the book. But what if Dracula in the book was Bela Lugosi, which is just interesting. It's very interesting because the Dracula that made it to the 1931 film is quite different from the book. Like, it's not like so different that it's unrecognizable, but there is a lot of changes, especially because it started out as a play. So this is just an interesting kind of like experiment. I'm glad to read it, but it's like, if it didn't have Bela Lugosi's face, this would just be a really well done adaptation of the comic book of Dracula, because it gets all the visuals down really cool and really interesting, and has a lot of great elements to it. Like, the art is truly really good. Like, it's got really good art. I really like the way that all of the Gothic architecture looks and stuff like that. And yeah, but if it didn't have Bela Lugosi's likeness, it would have just been a good Dracula book. So it's weird that it's being kind of sold on Bela Lugosi's likeness. I don't know. I like the art and I like seeing more Bela Lugosi. I love Bela Lugosi, so I'm not complaining. This is a fun experiment and probably my favorite straight adaptation of Dracula. Like, as far as like just the book in a different format, because there's nothing really changed in this, which I just think is very interesting. And Fever Dream is like the exact same thing. The only problem is Fever Dream's artwork isn't as good, and I do think there are some issues with the text that they could have maybe changed had they done like a more like thought out translation. So anyways, I'm probably going to read a little bit more of Dracula and then go to bed, and I'll update you when I get done to some more stuff. About 5 books in the first day, though. That's not bad. It's not the best I've ever done, and I've been kind of in a bad mood this entire day, and it's cold and I'm grumpy. So I mean, there you go. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll be in a better mood. Probably not. Yo, what the fluff? What are you doing? Oh, you can't be on that one. That one will actually be... Oh, no. You can't be on that one. That shelf is fragile, and you are heavy. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, no! Nami, don't hiss at him. Nami. No. It's just a shelf. It's just a shelf. It's okay. Good morning, I guess. Went out to the Warhammer store today to pick up the latest Gotrek book, Vermin Slayer. I love this cover. I'm only on the second book in this series, and this is like way farther in the series. But the other one that I had was literally called Skaven Slayer. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the frickin' thing. Yeah, there you go. Skaven Slayer, and I read this one last month. So I'm excited to actually pop in and maybe just skip all the way to Vermin Slayer later this month, because that would just be fun, I think. Because it would be very fun to kind of hop way forward and see like how it changes and if it has much in similar to the original book, which it's this character versus those guys. And I also grabbed some good old discount Valentine's Day candy, because that's my life. I don't get the normal ones, but I do get the discount ones, so suck it. Other than that, I've been enjoying Kelsey from Simon Slashers, doing some Patreon reading experience. And yeah, life has been good. So I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, it's not like I'm trying to watch anything, Loomis.
In between reading other books. So
I get it. You're invested in the sprints, but, you know,
yes, it was great.
I can't see.
So if anyone else is looking for a weird mushroom fungus type of book,
now like he's sitting on the freaking thing. I was trying to show you.
I just read my first book by River Solomon Cat, and I would say
he pressed the space bar 409 times.
It would be good. And
I forgot that I was supposed to stream Twin Peaks, so I'm 15 minutes late. But I'm streaming it, even though I forgot, because I'm an idiot. Here's Loomis. So, I did finish Barbarian Mine, and then I did also finish Missile Foe. Barbarian Mine was good. I liked it. I don't think it was my favorite of the Ice Planet Barbarian series, just because babies, you know, meh. More like maybes, meh. They're fine, whatevs. It was not as fun as the other ones, but like it was good for the most part. Like I would still say I enjoyed it. It was like a 3.5 book. But, like, you know, it was okay. But Missile Foe was amazing and was really, really good. My my hold on, I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf ran out. So I was like, oh no, I want to listen to some Kimberly Lemming for this vlog. And luckily, Missile Foe was available and it was only like an hour and a half. With like 1.5 speed anyways, but it was great. I loved that one so much. It was like 60 pages, but whatevs. It was like a great 60 pages. That book, 5 stars. It's like too short to even be a novella. I guess it was a novella, but 60 pages is like a short story. But whatevs. Whatever. It's 5 stars. Whatever it was, it's 5 stars. So, and then I did just finish Dracula, finally, at the end of day 2. There was a lot, because it was like basically like just like a straight up adaptation of the book by Bram Stoker. And yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Will I get to anything else today? Oh, I hope so, because only 2 books for day 2, that would be bad. Look at this beautiful lady. Oh my god. She's so beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. I just finished Rita's Revenge. Wow. Damn. Look at these costumes. I'm gonna send this to Kelsey after reading it. I don't know if she owns it or not. I hope not, because I defaced every page of this book. Well, not every page, but like most of the pages. Not this one. There's a character called Cameron in this book, and I just like crossed out every word and then said Cameron Cheney. See, here you go. Zach tried to give Cameron, and then of course I had to make Cheney. Cameron Cheney. Anyways, I wrote that a billion times in this book. That's Cameron Cheney. Anyways, given the fact that the last thing that I sent to Kelsey didn't even arrive, I hope this one does arrive because I wrote Cameron Cheney a lot of times. Oh, yes. And for jokes that are only funny to me and hopefully Kelsey. I have finished today. Brrr. Only 3 books. Oifida doifida. I am not doing well at my wasted weekend. Normally I'd be at like 20 books by now. Hashtag. Look at this kitty. Dun 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 dun. Uh-oh. What's going on here? What's a duel? Be nice, kitties. What do you guys want? Like food or something? You guys already did have breakfast. You guys are a bunch of hobbits. What are at second breakfast? Whatevs. Alright, fine, I'll get up. I got a lot of reading to do and no immediate plans. Oh no, she's launching this fireball. Currently reading this really, actually great Choose Your Own Adventure Which Way Star Trek book. But why on earth is this the most disgusting image I've ever seen? What is going? Oh, that's so gross. You're supposed to be like aging, but I don't know if I've ever seen an old man whose face looks like that. Just be glad we don't have the aging virus. This is actually awesome, because I've done the other two. Like you have one adventure with Spock in here, and you have one adventure with Kirk in here, and now I'm just doing the adventure with McCoy. And unlike a lot of Choose Your Own Adventure books, there's so many different endings that can still be good endings. I'm kind of used to especially like classic Choose Your Own Adventure books. There's usually only one or two good endings, and the rest of you just like dying horribly. And there's plenty of you dying horribly in this, but I do love the kind of the variety of stories that were fitting in here. And this is like not a very long book. It's very skinny, but it kind of gets everything done. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hello, an update for today. So first off, I'm gonna finish these two and put those into old school April, just because these are old fun stuff. And I I read like 3 of them in a row, and I was like, that's probably enough Choose Your Own Adventure books. But what's fun is that they're all from different like varieties of Choose Your Own Adventure. And I think that they each have their own strengths and unique things about them. So first off, the Which Way one, the Star Trek phaser fight, might be my favorite one of these I've ever read. There's like 3 complete stories here, like when you're like a new person on the Enterprise and you have to like choose, do you want to hang out with Kirk, Spock, or McCoy? And then you have a whole bunch of options, and what's amazing is that each of the options, like, they aren't always like logically the same. It's like basically like the path can branch out into ways that like you would think it would be one thing or the other, but by making a different choice, it just completely changes what something does. Like there is a thing where you have to like drink a potion, and like the way that it reacts and what it does is not really one to one, and there are certain things that just don't happen if you don't, take the potion in a certain way. And yeah, it was just very creative and fun. And like, there's all these like weird kind of like creatures and stuff, and the artwork is great. So yeah, this is just probably my favorite one ever, because it's just like 3 kind of completely different stories and was just a blast. This one is awesome because this is just like this one, there's a lot more text than the others. Like it is kind of a little bit more story based, and it's very fun. There's a lot of different options that you can do, and a lot of fun endings. With both of these, I did all of the endings, and the same with this. Like I went through all the choices and basically read the entire book. I believe actually I did read all of the entirety of all of these. There might be a few random ones that I didn't get in this one, but anyways, this one has like a lot more writing to it, so it's a lot more substantial as far as like telling an actual story goes. And yeah, it's just like this fun adventure where you and your like wizard who you're apprenticing under have to go and answer to like these three wizards who say that he's practicing magic illegally, and it's like this castle of the rainbow dragons, and it's awesome. It's so much fun, and basically you get separated from your master, and then you are hanging out with these like wise talking animals, this fox and this owl, and they have really funny banters, and you can just go on do a lot of really fun and interesting and unique things. And there's actually quite a few satisfying alternate endings for this, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, had a really good time with this. This one's probably the best as far as just telling an actual complete story. This one was probably the most fun, and this one was very nostalgic because I definitely played this when I was younger. And also, I do love how it's very cat based. It's all about, like you're going through this old haunted house, basically, and you have to find this cat, and there's like a curse, and there's like all these different ways to, end your journey. This one is fun because there's like a lot of gruesome deaths. This is what I always remember about those old school choose your own adventures. Like there are some brutal deaths in them. So yeah, this one did not disappoint and was a complete blast as well. And yeah, like I said, these two I will read. Old school April is what I'm thinking. So now let's crack into the rock video superstars and Spideys. Okay, so I did not finish this. This was going to be my last book. I did not finish it. I'm too tired. I'll finish it tomorrow, but the wasted weekend will be done tomorrow. I did not get as many videos or books read this year as I normally like to, but I still got some stuff done, and it was like an okay weekend, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. The last book I did finish was the audiobook for Lilith Hesperax, Queen of Knives, which is a Warhammer book. Well, I just about died from coughing, so that was fun. Gonna cut that out in the final video, obviously. Yes, my final book of the wasted weekend was Lilith Hesperax, Queen of Knives, which I very much enjoyed. Hopefully I do better next year. Yeah, this is kind of just a write-off. Alright, bye.